I wondered if there were any Massachusetts. Do you want to give any kind of report? Yes, John. This is Will. In Massachusetts, they'll be having their annual meeting next month, I think.
Yes, our annual meeting is next month, and Ruth is going to be our keynote speaker. So we're very happy to bring her up to Massachusetts from Connecticut. I'll try to make this brief, but we've had quite a lot going on. We have had leadership issues. Some of you may have known Bob NaCCRA, who was our president 3 different times for a total of 6 years. He stepped down last May and died about the end of the year. And if you wish to read an obituary and see more news about us, I've put copies of our newsletter, The Patriot, outside on the table there. We've had several things that we're working on. Legislation is a continual issue. We had a bill originally some years ago that gave everyone the right to full financial information before signing the contract. And then after 2 or 3 years of working with Leading Age, we passed a new bill at the end of 2012, which was signed at the beginning of 2013. And that gave right to, it spelled out the use of residents associations for getting whatever information they requested from management of a financial sort, and also information about plans that were in the works that would, quote, affect the lives and well-being, the health and well-being of the residents of the communities. And that passed, was signed just at the beginning of 2013 by the governor. Those laws, however, have no teeth in them. There's no penalties for not doing what they call for. And we've recently discovered, due to research by our legislative committee, that the Massachusetts Executive Office of Elder Affairs, which is in charge of a lot of things relating to older folks, is not fully complying with what it should be doing. It's not collecting all the information it's supposed to be collecting. It's not even reminding the management to send things in if they fail to. It's not keeping it well enough so it could be useful to MLCRA or to individual communities. On the planning side, we started with a think tank session towards the end of 2012, in which we got 40 people from 11 communities together, 11 out of the 15 who are members of, who are active with MLCRA. We got about 40 people together around tables, mixed people up by community, and collected a long list of issues that people present thought should be dealt with. And then we followed that by hiring a professional facilitator who ran us through a process. She didn't make the plan, but she was excellent at getting us to focus on the right questions and to go through a process of coming to 3 specific action goals. And that was done last year. And we are now in the process of trying to work on those goals. One is the membership. We We are now, for the second year, up to over 600 members, individual membership. We're just getting out of a transition from community-based membership to individual membership. So we have over 600 individual members. Our treasurer is sitting back here, Jean Stolbach, and she could tell you that she's particularly happy that the life memberships from last year to this year have gone up by 43%. And they keep coming in. I don't know if other places other states are finding this, but we find that every time we put an application form in our newsletter, some people have already joined for the year, joined again. So she's got 3 paid up, we just keep it. We've got 3 paid up for 2015.
20.
And then, yeah, and they
20 paid up.
20 of them are paid up for 2015. And they may keep paying. We're not going to stop them. I think you do notify them that it's being put on that other year, but I thought that was useful. And so our goals are to increase the individual membership, but our next step is to try to get more communities involved. We have about half of the 30-some communities in the state now have significant numbers of members and people involved with MLCRA. We want to make that close to 30. I think it's 33 or 32 CCRCs statewide. We also have a state size problem very similar to North Carolina because we're not as long as North Carolina, but we're long enough that traveling from the Berkshires in the west to Cape Cod or even to Boston is very difficult for a lot of people, for board meetings and that sort of thing. We do have an area set up. We have 4 areas, but that is kind of broken down temporarily because the person who was coordinating area meetings statewide and that sort of thing has run out of energy. We also had a problem of a longtime editor of our newsletter running out of energy. And we were getting out 1 or 2 a year for a couple of years, and that really hurt. So we have now an editorial team of 3 people, my wife being one of them, so we can talk a lot between the president and one of the editors. And we have copies of that out here, as I say. I think that's about it. I'll take questions.
Did you all just pass a residence rights bill?
We did pass a residence rights bill,
Do you want to
yes.
speak to that just for a second?
Well, I mentioned briefly, it says that through the residence associations, requests can be made to get full financial information and information about all plans that are on the way, and then react to those plans. At some of our communities, we've always had pretty good financial reporting, but they don't want to let us know about plans of any kind. And they'll throw an example like, well, if we're going to buy property, we can't tell you in advance because the price will go up for the property. And these are places that are never going to buy property. You know, and there's no property to buy. And as I say, there's no teeth in it anyway. So the state can't. We can take our grievances to the Attorney General, the State Attorney General's office. And that would be a little bit of pressure. But we haven't. We're just beginning to see what we might be able to do on that regard. Anything else? Thank you.